Without any delay, let's go across to Shireen, who's moved to our Election Exchange studios to take us through how the Narendra Modi factor is working wonders for the BJP across the country. Shireen, over to you.
Well, it is that time of the show. Rajdeep is back with us for the grand finale, if I can call it that, of the election tracker. This is the national picture. Over this week, we've been telling you what individual states are likely to do if the elections were to be held today and which way the mood is swinging. Rajdeep, it's a sum of parts, and at this point in time, it's very, very clear that the BJP has gained significant ground in comparison to 2009 in terms of the actual vote share and also in comparison to the earlier polls that we've done.
That's right. To use the word that's often used in US presidential elections, the big mo, the momentum at the moment is clearly with the BJP and NDA. Forget the exact numbers for a moment. It's clear that there is a wave or a breeze certainly moving towards the BJP in the northwest of the country. The Congress and the UP is facing an anti-incumbency factor. And clearly the gap between the UP and the NDA, when you compare it to our election tracker in July last year, is actually widening. And that is the troubling news for the UPA government. And that's the best news for the NDA. Because now, if our survey numbers are to be proven right, the NDA is now within striking distance of forming the next government.
You know, you're talking about numbers, Rajdeep. You didn't want to talk about them specifically in the previous answer, but let me ask you now, and let's talk about the numbers, because you're saying without alliances, the BJP stands to get between 192 to 210, and the Congress 92 to 108. This is actually, to my mind, the Congress tally is looking a little better than what most people were talking about.
Well, let's be honest. The Congress tally is still going to be its worst ever. The worst Congress tally was 1999, 114. If our survey numbers are right, midpoint is about 102. You know, that's not a great number in a 543 member assembly. And the lower point is 92, and it could go lower. Let's be clear. The Congress, once the momentum moves in one direction, someone loses out. At the moment, the momentum with the BJP, NDA, the Congress, if anything, I believe could go even below this 92 number, could end up in double digits. So I think if you're saying that the Congress is doing better than expected, that means the Congress is desperately clutching at straws. On the other hand, Shireen, just a point. The BJP is heading, as per our survey numbers, to its best ever performance. This is better than Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Vote share is about 5% more than Atal Bihari Vajpayee at his best. Something is churning, and the advantage is clearly moving towards the BJP.
Absolutely, but let's talk about alliances. We were just talking about individual seats, but let's talk about alliances, because BJP with the Shiv Sena and the Akali stand to get between 211 to 231. That's what the tracker is suggesting. And the Congress, along with the NCP, Kerala Allies and JMM stands to get between 107 to 127. So alliances, as we were discussing, if Mayawati swings the Congress way or the Congress swings the Mayawati way, could the alliance politics change the number game?
It could. There's no doubt about it, particularly in 3 states, Tamil Nadu, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. But look, time is running out. Mayawati has already said that she's not going to be in alliance with the Congress. Nitish Kumar seems unlikely to go with the Congress. That leaves Lalu. Lalu is not going to dramatically change the situation, I believe, in Bihar for the Congress. The DMK, as you're seeing, the party is already breaking apart. Adagiri has just been removed from the party. It's also struggling. So any party which is struggling may latch on to the Congress. But the parties which at the moment want to play a greater role in post-poll 2014 are not willing to go with the Congress.
So
but yes, alliance remains an X factor.
And there is no question today of a fractured mandate, of the AAP playing spoiler, of a coalition that's going to be even worse than the coalitions that we've seen in the past. The tracker doesn't seem to suggest any of that.
The tracker doesn't seem to suggest that. If you were to look purely at the tracker, Shireen, the prospects of this sort of non-Congress, non-BJP third front government emerging, which is, I know, a nightmare for all your viewers there on CNBC TV 18, is unlikely to happen at the moment. At the moment, it appears that you will get a relatively stable government. If the BJP is 220 plus, it will be very stable. If the BJP is between 180 and 200, around 200, then you will have Narendra Modi facing the nightmare of having to ring up Chennai in the morning, Kolkata in the afternoon, and Lucknow in the evening for an appointment with Mayawati, Jayalalitha and Mamta. God bless Narendra Modi if he can pull that off.
Well, God bless Narendra Modi, but let's talk about what the tracker is also telling us in the way that the urban and rural vote is also changing, Rajdeep. And this is the big worry as far as the Congress is concerned, because rural India, which is why we actually saw the food security, the NREGS and all of that, this entitlement-based politics that the Congress has played over the last 5 years or even 10 years actually, the rural vote is swinging to Modi.
That's right. What is interesting is that if you go through every age group, every demographic, village versus town versus city, 18 to 25, 25 to 40, every age group, barring those over the age of 56 and barring the minorities and to some extent the tribals, everyone is moving towards the BJP. So you're seeing what you call a uniform swing across key class groups. And I think therefore you can say with reasonable certainty that this tracker has now captured a trend very clearly. The only question to ask is, will the trend, as I said, will this wave become a thunderstorm or a gale that will sweep the BJP to 225 plus? Or will it be limited by the AAP or by Mayawati or by alliances to around 200? I think that's really now the only question.
No chance of a comeback for the Congress.
Look,
in the next 2.5 months.
I hate to write off anyone in politics, and I would hesitate to write off anyone in politics. And reports of the death of the Congress are grossly exaggerated because they have a core vote. But I think unless something dramatic happens, Shireen, in the next 2.5 months, something that suddenly changes the entire political equation. I don't even want to contemplate on a few of the things that could happen that could result in some kind of a dramatic sympathy wave for the Congress. Only in those conditions do I see the Congress recovering. Otherwise, frankly now, the Congress is in damage control. Their best hope is to prevent Modi from crossing 200 and thereby create a situation where other options open up.
All right, but at this point in time, the tracker very clearly suggests that Narendra Modi and the campaign that he's been running for the last several months now seems to be working, and that the BJP, along with its allies, could in fact be set and poised to form the government.
That's right. I think it's very, very clear. And I think that Narendra Modi's campaign has worked. He's worked at it assiduously. He's focused on key areas. And what we are seeing, look at the gap, Shireen, we are showing in the leadership stakes. Narendra Modi's popularity as prime ministerial candidate has actually increased, and his gap widens over Rahul. So clearly he's striking a chord, and particularly in that 18 to 25 age group.
That's what's going to matter this time around, isn't it?
It could matter. Number of them may not be registered voters. Number of young people don't go ahead and vote. But I get a sense that it will make a difference. It will certainly reflect the mood of change. I think what this tracker has clearly captured is there is a mood for change. Parivartan, call it by any word. That's the mood of the country at the moment.
Your Hindi is better than your Bengali, Rajdeep. So we'll see you again in March. That is when the next edition of the election tracker will be revealed right here on Network 18. And that perhaps is going to give us an even better indication of which way India is going to vote. But Rajdeep, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks very much for joining us on India Business Hour.
Thank you.
All right, so that's of course election tracker for tonight.